How's it going, my fellow collectors? It's me again. I'm back with another review. And this time, it's of my favorite superhero of all time. Spider-Man from the movie Homecoming. And this is the deluxe version, as it says on the box. The MMS 426. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Starting off with the first category, which is the source information. Overall, it was a good take on Spider-Man from the comic books. And I'm talking about, like the original Spider-Man. Because when he was first introduced in the comic books, he was a teenager. Still in high school and everything. Just like he was in the movie. That was one of the good points I liked about it. Tom Holland's portrayal of Spider-Man was good also. He did a good job. He's still learning the ropes of being a superhero. Trying to cope with the struggles of being a high school student and a superhero at the same time. And the action was good in it too. I like that too. The villain, Vulture, played by Michael Keaton. Excellent work. He did an awesome job. He knew how to be intimidating at the right times. But I think that's pretty much all the things that I did like about the movie. Some people say that Aunt May was a little bit too young to be Peter Parker's aunt, or just too young in general. I didn't really have a problem with that. I mean, if you take into account that Tom Holland himself has barely reached like 20 or 21, so I don't think Aunt May would be all that old during that time. So it didn't really bother me that much. Also, I'm going to start talking about the things that I didn't like about the movie. I didn't like the fact that, I know that Spider-Man has to tie in some way to the Avengers storyline, and the way they chose to do that was by having Tony Stark as a mentor for Peter Parker, like a father figure. I did not like that at all. They just decided to completely cut out Uncle Ben and just, replace him with Tony Stark. And, Peter Parker's always trying to get Tony Stark's approval. And he's wanting so desperately to join the Avengers. I get it, he's still a kid and that's his main focus and stuff, so he doesn't have his priorities set straight. But they just could have changed that up a little bit, because I just didn't agree with that plot. As for the other thing I didn't like was they chose to make Mary Jane a tan-skinned, dark-haired girl that Peter's attracted to. That's completely the opposite of what she actually looks like. She's supposed to have fair skin and red hair. So, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe it's just a new take they're trying to do, but I didn't like it. And then they did introduce another character in the movie who was Ned, who's Peter Parker's favorite, or I'm sorry, his best friend. And he did an awesome job in the movie. It was all good, real good job. The only problem I had was that he doesn't exist in the Spider-Man comic books. But for the most part, since he did a good job in the movie, trying to be his friend and such, I'll give it a pass, I guess. So, I don't really love the movie, but I don't hate it either. I'm kind of like in the middle. So as for the score, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So stick with me, guys, and we'll move on to the next category. Alright, so let's talk packaging. And I gotta say, Hot Toys on this packaging have done something they haven't done in a while. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's just go through the general things we go through. First, we got the image right here, smack dab in the middle of Spider-Man. And this isn't of the figure. I believe this is a movie promo shot. And as you can see, as I move around the camera, you can see the glossy sections of the costume, the black sections, even on the spider in the middle of his chest there. So that's pretty cool. And then you get the image of the background. It's a spider, but you have the landscape of the city of New York back there. And then on the bottom, you get the title, Marvel Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man 1/6 scale figure, MMS 426 deluxe version. Now on the bottom right, you have the Hot Toys logo. On the bottom left, you have the movie Masterpiece logo. And then on the one side, it says Spider-Man deluxe version, MMS 426, 1/6 scale collectible figure, and some more designs. You got a little spider up here, and then on the other side, it's pretty much the same thing. And then on the top of it, you get the titles again with more spider webs and a blue background right here. And on the back you get a image of, I think this is the figure. They just like put it in like a psychedelic color, red. And then of course you get the logos and warning labels and such. The Hot Toys logo again, Secret Base logo, Toy Hunters logo, barcode, the Marvel logo, and the warnings and choking hazards that nobody reads. And then on the bottom of it, same thing as the top, the titles, Marvel Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man 1/6 scale collectible figure, MMS 426 deluxe version. So now we get to the part that I mentioned before that Hot Toys hasn't done in a while, and it is the wraparound magnetic flap that opens up to reveal the figure inside, with a nice display window. And then you get the cast and crew credits of everybody that worked on the figure. And then there's another image of a spider there. So all in all, really good. I'm gonna bump it up an extra point because of the magnetic flap that they haven't done in a while. I wish they would just bring that back. Like they used to do it all the time for the DX figures, and for some reason they just stopped and just started going for the regular shoebox design style. So overall it's gonna get a... It's also gonna get a 7 out of 10. Okay, so we've made it to the category of likeness. And I'm surprised that Hot Toys was able to get the youth down with this character. Because having it in hand, I don't think the camera does it justice, but like if you take a look at it with your own eyes, he really looks like a kid straight out of high school. So they did such a good job with that. Everything else as well, the paint applications, it just straight up looks like Tom Holland through and through. Good choice on the color of hair as well. It's not really it's not black at all. It's like a dark brown. The only gripe I have with this head sculpt, or actually it's more the body. It's where the neck meets the head. Right here. I just wish that, because it kind of looks like the costume is growing into his head or something like that. I don't know. Or it's coming out of his head. I don't know. It would have been nice if we could see his neck. And I know it's possible to do that. They've done it before, Hot Toys. When the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, both of them actually, the first one and the second one, you were able to pop the head off, and when you put the Andrew Garfield head sculpt on, it had that cut where the neck, you could see some of the neck, and then you see the cut where the costume starts and where it ends. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. And they just didn't do that here. I don't understand why. I much rather prefer that way to do it better than this way. If the reason that they did it this way was because there would be a line where the chest meets the neck, there's not really a problem with that, because all you have to do is like camouflage it to make it look like it's part of the costume, like it's, you know, it's the webs running along the costume. And before this figure came out, I did submit an email to Hot Toys requesting that they do it that way, because I saw the promo images of the Tom Holland head sculpt on the body, and it looked exactly like this. So I requested them to just change that out. But of course they never responded, and I'm just one person, so. But yeah, getting back to the likeness, excellent job. Real nice. %100% accuracy to Tom Holland playing Peter Parker. I'm gonna give that a 10 out of 10. Perfect score. And if I talk you guys through this pose, basically recreating the ending scene where Peter Parker is proud of his achievements with his chest puffed out, and it's like a few seconds right before he gets busted by Aunt May wearing the Spider-Man costume. As you can see, he's got his mask there. Alright, so moving on to the next category. Stick with me, guys. Alright, so we've reached the category of the outfit. And since you guys already know, I do have the deluxe version, so it comes with the high school debate team blazer and the hoodie. And of course, everything is Hot Toys quality, very good on everything. Even the Spider-Man suit itself, pretty good. Although, just like the rest of the superheroes, Batman, Superman, Deadpool, whoever else that wears like spandex type costumes, you can't put them in extreme poses for too long because the costume stretches out and you can't get it back to normal looking right after that. So basically it'll ruin the costume, which is a real bummer because this is Spider-Man we're talking about. Like, you don't want him in just a basic straight up and down pose standing up. He's really agile. You know, he's always web swinging, doing acrobatics, all that stuff. And it's a shame that we just can't have him in extreme poses for too long. Hopefully, in the near future, Hot Toys can come up with some kind of material that doesn't get ruined by doing extreme poses. Yeah, the blazer, really nice looking. Really good material. It's made of cloth. And you see the little emblem there. It says Midtown School of Science Technology. And I like the way it fits on to the body. No problems there. Same goes for the hoodie. You can zip it up if you want. And you can put the hood on to the head. So really nice with that. That's pretty much it for the outfit. And I mean, he does come with the wrist web shooters, as you can see right here. He comes with 2 sets of them. One is for just I guess regular posing, and the other set has a hole in it where you can peg the webs into, as if he's shooting them. But yeah, other than that, that's the whole outfit. Really nice, very accurate to the movie. That's the only downside. The costume gets ruined by extreme poses. So I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10. Alright, so stick with me, guys, and we will roll on to the next category. Okay, so we've made it to the category of articulation. And we start off by saying that I used to own the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man from Hot Toys. And I think that that one was more articulated than this one. But I'll just run through the articulation right now before I get to that. It's got your standard wrist pegs, Hot Toys wrist pegs, and double bended elbows. Good articulation on the head, the neck. I believe there is a ball joint on the base of the neck that connects to the chest, so that allows for a little bit more articulation. And then you got the ball joint for the top of the neck as well, where the head fits. So he can turn pretty much 360 degrees. He could tilt his head from left to right, and he could look up and down pretty good as well. He's got ab crunch, pretty good, just as good as the Spider-Man 2 Amazing Spider-Man. And then once we get down to the hip to leg area, or hip to thigh, that is where the articulation kind of gets hindered. I don't know why, but it does. He can't really do the splits that far. I've tried, and the Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man 2 was able to spread his legs a lot farther than this one. And he's also got double bended knees, and he's got really good ankle articulation. He could pretty much stand on his own without the use of a base, so that's real good. And something new that Hot Toys doesn't do very often, he's got a toe hinge. If I just look on the other side here, you can see the break in the shoe right here. That's where you can bend the toes. So not too bad at all with this articulation of this Spider-Man. So, oh, I forgot to mention about the shoulders as well. They have a ratchet joint, so when you spread them far outward, it makes a clicking noise. And I think the same goes for the hip to thigh area. When you make him kick forward, which by the way he kicks forward pretty good as well, it also makes a clicking noise. And he does have shoulder shrug as well, and he can, I think he has a butterfly joint in the shoulders as well, so that's good as well. And That's pretty much it. So for the articulation, I'm gonna have to give it a 9 out of 10. It doesn't get a full 10 because they were able to do a little bit better. Hot Toys was able to do a little bit better with the articulation before on their previous Spider-Man. So that's why it's getting a 9. Okay guys, we're done with this category, and let's move on to the next one. Okay, so we've reached the final category, which is accessories. Let me just show you guys the pose first. I got them in. I did forget to mention one thing, that I'm glad that they decided to go with the classic costume look, with the classic spider logo on his back and the classic mask and eyes that he has too. There's only minor changes, like modernized changes that they made to his costume, like the web shooters, the black lining that's going out throughout all his costume. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is just, they kept it classic look. But anyway, getting back to the accessories. He comes with 10 pairs of hands. And comes with 5 shooting webs. 1 spinning web, I guess you would call it. It goes on the end of the web shooting webs. And these hands, they do have the button that he presses to thwip the webs out. It's sculpted on the hands here. Let me try to get a better picture for you guys. So there it is. And he comes with 5 pairs of eyes, magnetic interchangeable eyes that you can change, make them look different. He comes with the really wide open eyes, and these are the normal looking eyes. These are the semi-closed eyes. And right now he's got the squinting eyes. And he's also got, which none of us expected, the insta-kill eyes. The red beady eyes that he has when he activates the insta-kill. And then he also comes with an extra pair of web shooters. I don't know why they gave us 2 pair. They gave us a pair of web shooters that are closed off at the nozzle. And they gave us a pair of web shooters, the ones that he has right now, that he's wearing. Those come with nozzles that are open. So you can place the webs in it to make it look like he's shooting the web. But yeah, like I said, I don't know why they gave us 2 pair. They could have just simply gave us the the pair of webs that have the nozzle already open, because it's not that big of a difference. I guess just in case we lose a pair, I don't know. But anyway, moving on. We also get a pair of headphones. Which he never uses in the movie, but it does show him wearing headphones in the promotional movie posters. And then we get the Science Today book. And it does have actual text. But it just says the same thing over and over, basically. And it's, they're basic, I know you can't read it, but it's basically just instructions that this figure is intended for people ages 16 and up. Stuff like that. And then he also comes with his backpack with adjustable straps and the arm straps. They do articulate. They have wire running inside, so you can position them however you see fit. And they do have working zippers, so you can open up the bag if you want. There's nothing in it, it's just cotton on the inside to make it look like it's bulky. So he's got that. And he got an extra spare of wrist pegs, just in case you break the ones that are already on him. He also comes with the web wings. They are magnetized, so you just put them on his armpits and they'll stick right to it. But it is pure plastic, this. So just be careful not to break it when you're bending the arms and such. He also comes with mask that he can hold in his hand. It does say in the instructions not to put this mask on his head sculpt because it will rip. It's not intended for that. So it's pretty cool. He comes with that, and he also comes obviously with the Tom Holland head sculpt, which is really nice. Since I already told you guys, 100% accuracy to Tom Holland. And he also comes with the Vulture helmet, and you can kind of see the glowing eyes. There it is. Glowing eyes inside the visor. I don't believe that the regular version of Spider-Man comes with a helmet. I think it's just the deluxe version. But yeah, they include that with it. They also say not to put this helmet over the masked head sculpt or the Tom Holland head sculpt. So it's not for that. It's just for display only. And then you get the blazer from the science team when they went to Washington together. As I said before, it says Midtown School of Science and Technology, established 1982. So, really nice tailoring on this blazer. And he also comes with the hoodie, which is also a nice material, very stretchy, and it does zip up. And you could also put the hoodie on the head. Or the hood on the head, I mean. So that's it. That's all the accessories. He also comes with the instruction manual, but I put that away and I don't feel like taking it out right now. And also this base, which is new. I believe they have this base for the Mark 47 Iron Man as well, where you can just attach the flight pole. The one nitpick that I have about this base is that it doesn't come with a regular pole for him to stand on. Like if he's just standing on the ground, it's just, he comes with this flight pole and that's it. So if you wanted to use this base, with him just standing up, you'd have to take the flight pole off and just have him stand without a pole or a crotch grabber or whatever, and that kind of sucks. They did the same thing with the Batman vs. Superman. They didn't give us a standing pole with him either. I think that they should include that. I think that's essential, because he's not going to be flying or jumping all the time. So, but the good news is that you can just take like the Batman vs. Superman Batman pole, or one just like it, and you could just screw that into the Spider-Man base, which is really nice. But for people that don't have those types of figures, they're just going to have to use the base without any kind of pull. It also comes with this stickers, I guess they are. I believe there's 2 of them. I haven't opened up yet, but yeah, I believe they're supposed to be the signals that come out of Spider-Man's web shooters. I guess it's like a spider signal. You see it at the end of Civil War. He shines this light up on his ceiling, and this is the symbol that appears. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the accessories. Everything else other than the pole for the base is, it's nice. I like the design that they use. The base isn't too big. Real nice. I can't really think of anything else it could have come with. It would have been nice if he had a hammock that was made out of his spider webs. That way he could just lay on it, chill, like he did in the movie. Or if he had like a jumping rope spider web also. If you remember in the movie, he had all types of webs that he was experimenting with. But those are just minor little nitpicks. So as for the accessories, it's gonna get a straight up 10 out of 10. I think the regular version of Spider-Man probably would have gotten a 9 out of 10. But this is the deluxe version, so I am going to give it a 10 out of 10. Alright, so stick with me guys, and we'll round up the scores. Okay, so overall score, this figure earns a 51 out of 60. And I think the areas where it most suffered was the source information and the packaging. Everything else is just really good. Spot on. You couldn't ask for more. So, if I were to recommend this figure, I would say go with this one, the deluxe version, instead of going for the normal regular version, because the quality on the blazer and the hoodie is just really good. In my opinion, it kind of feels incomplete without it, because it was a pretty big part of the movie where he was on the science team in Washington. That whole, what was it, like 20 minutes of the movie? It was a big scene. So I mean, they pretty much covered everything that you need with this figure. So, like I said before, the only downsides were the costume itself. Hot Toys still hasn't fixed that problem to not damage the costume with extreme posing. But other than that, I can't think of anything else that this figure could have improved upon. A lot of people say that they have a problem with the mask, that the seam kinda comes out on this part here in the front of the face. But if that's true, I can't really notice on mine. Either that or it just doesn't bother me at all. I don't know, I just can't see it. Something else I forgot to mention, guys. I wanted to go through this pose, talk you through this pose that I have him in. I kinda got him kind of like a surprised, spun around pose. Maybe his spider sense went off and he just looked behind him real quick to see what it was. Speaking of the spider sense, where the heck was it in the movie? That was... I mean, we're talking about Spider-Man. That's a big part of who he is spider sense. I don't know. That was one of the things that just turned me off about it. And the other thing I forgot to mention, the spider symbol on his chest, the instructions mention not to remove it. So you can't have Droney on his own. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. There will be more videos in the future. Many more figures to come. Alright, thank you guys. Later.